2020 was pretty itchy, but hidden among all the bummers were some little stokes. So here's 21 good outcomes that happened around the country in 2020. The year started in flames, but here is one little miracle. Shrek lived, as did his two owners, Faith and Darren Gordon. They sadly lost their homes during the Queensland fires, but Shrek came through unscathed. Almost a year later, they moved into a new home and they've taken the resilient Shrek figurine with them, saying, and I quote, "Shrek is never leaving this property. We're keeping him forever. He deserves to be here as much as we do." That'll do, Shrek. That'll do. Check out this house which survived the intense fires that engulfed New South Wales at the beginning of the year. The owners, Wendy Wolfe and Brett Hawkins, credit this well-watered mulberry tree for protecting their house. If you look closely at the aerial shot, you can see the tree and the house still standing among the devastated bushland. Nice work, mulberry tree. We've seen fire and we've seen rain, and after Queensland got a soaking, the water flowed all the way to New South Wales to create this once-in-a-decade event, Peary Lake, filling with water.
It's like an ocean in the middle of nowhere.
That water plays home to 42 different species of waterbird, including the sharp-tailed sandpiper, which migrates all the way from Siberia. Welcome home, mate. Rain also came to the Sturt National Park, which means these hell-cute froggies woke up after a big sleep. The burrowing frog hibernates in a cocoon made of shed skin that retains water and can stay underground for months or years between big rains. Speaking of big rains, this is one happy farmer. I didn't know that Huey in the phrase, "Send her down, Huey," is God or a rain god, according to Wikipedia. Lots of rain, good result. This one is bittersweet. Terminally ill Perth woman Janet Patel was searching for her long-lost little brother all the way over in Ballarat. After a radio interview and a Facebook post, the community helped reconnect her with a sibling over the phone. After 70 years. Tyler Hartfield's song titled "The One You Feed" is an absolute 2020 silver lining. The 16-year-old student was born with cerebral palsy and is a non-verbal communicator.
The other students are his instrument, his orchestra. And he goes, I've been listening to this bloke, Nick Cave. And I thought, right, we're on here.
Tyler garnered praise from Nick Cave himself on his blog, The Red Hand Files. Here's another musically orientated individual, David Hope, who built a whole organ in his house as a hobby, but when it was finished, he realised he could not play the thing. So the organist from St Mary's Cathedral in Sydney played it for him, which is kind of like Nick Nat turning up in your backyard and taking a huge mark with a footy that you made yourself, but not really.
I couldn't have imagined anything as splendid as this.
ISO got to all of us, but the best of the loopy outcomes might have been when we all started dressing up to take out the bins. Tommy Jeffson Canoundra was a superior practitioner of the form.
I've done Peter Allen, I've done Cher, I've done Streisand. Today it's Mariah Carey.
And this is the proper way to celebrate your freedom from quarantine. Shout 100 beers down the pub. And if you look closely, are these middies, pots, schooners, whatever, pints. Top bloke, good outcome. After all the agricultural shows were cancelled, 17-year-old chicken breeder Shakira turned her attention to breeding even better chickens for next year. Good outcome. Though it's hard to imagine they get better than Carl Jr. here.
He's still got a fair few years left in him to show, hopefully.
Darn Carl Jr. A lockdown Anzac Day saw the driveway at dawn events pop up, with people up at Sparrows to stand in front of their houses and pay their respects to our diggers. It was pretty special stuff. A drop of creativity and a few buckets of chalk turned this driveway into Rainbow Road, which in turn became a metaphor for the edge we traverse this year, perhaps to fall at any moment. Driveways also became backdrops for the Driveway Project, brainchild of Darwin photographer Francesca Fuga, which resulted in fun photos like these. Speaking of photos, photographer Trent White is on a mission to help people reconnect to culture, and these bangers are just some of the pics he's captured along the way.
Happy 100th birthday to you.
Ava's turned 100.
Thank you, darling, very, very much. Sure, it's a big 100. I didn't think I was going to make it.
The much-loved talkback caller won hearts with her unflappable optimism in the face of a pretty crappy year.
Thank you, darling.
11-year-old Billy from Hobart saved this draft board shark that was wedged between two rocks.
Oh, beautiful job.
Could not agree more. And while we're down the coast, the right is a huge wave off the southwest coast of Australia, and local surfer Laura McCauley became the first woman to join the extremely short list of elite surfers who have conquered it. If huge waves aren't your thing, now you can combine your passions for cycling, the beach, and tight clothing with this hydro bike. Albany's Andrew Halsell spent months on the design. He just needs to work on that dismount. And it wouldn't be an upbeat video without a love story, would it? Krakatoa! the 800 kilogram, 5 metre long croc needed a new home. But the catch was, he was in a de facto with the Mrs. Madonna, and they needed a 2x1 so she could set up her macrame studio. Not really. The enormous croc went 8 months without food after his last girlfriend died, so he wasn't letting this one get away. Now they have a nice little bit of water to call their own. And finally, this year, we met Kartika, the adventure cat. She travels the outback on a lead with her owner, Lou Myers. The good outcome from this story is that we got to meet Kartika, who we love, so majestic. So while 2020 was mostly pretty bad, it wasn't all bad. You can find all these stories and more on the ABC Australia YouTube channel. So subscribe for more wholesome Aussie content and comment any good outcomes that we missed. And with that, I guess the only thing left to say is, so long 2020, don't come back.